I just want to think a little bit about Ruth chapter 1 this morning. Naomi, or Noami in Hebrew, her name means pleasant, and eventually she asks to be called bitter. Her focus is on her feelings of abandonment, and it makes sense. But they nearly keep Naomi from seeing the blessing of her daughter-in-law's changed life. She went to this foreign land with her husband and her sons, and then lost everything. And so she's out there all alone with just these two people who have come into her orbit because of her sons. And I can imagine that she feels abandoned by God and by everyone, that she feels bitter, that she feels frightened. And then when they go back to Bethlehem and she speaks with the women of Bethlehem, there's no mention of Ruth. It's as though the abandonment feelings have just crowded out any real acknowledgement of the blessing that Ruth is to her. Ruth was God's promise to Naomi that she wasn't abandoned. And so today, I just want to take a moment to think about those places, to remember those places where in our fear and abandonment, there is blessing. Where do we feel like we might be in the wilderness? And then to recognize that God gives us blessings in those places to remind us that He is present, that He's coming to us, and that those moments are for our good and for our growth. However small, God cares that you experience life with Him. And so it's good to express lament, and it's good to express anger and to acknowledge the disappointments that happen and the unfulfilled expectations that you have. But then let's look deeper after that. For the Ruths that we have, those blessings that remind us that God hasn't abandoned His children. There's a space for lamentation, and there's also a space to acknowledge the blessings that come. Let's take a moment to be silent before the Lord, and then we'll pray together the Benedictus on page 19.